Alright, today we're going to, I'm going to show you to do a paper weave project. It's a lot of fun. I don't want you to get discouraged by it if you do not know how to weave, but once you catch on, it's very simple. So just don't give up, and if you need some help from a parent or older sibling who knows how to weave, they can help you with it. But you'll have fun with the finished project. First of all, you need some paper. It can be any color paper. I'm going to work with white paper, and it basically can be any size. This is an 8 by 10 sheet, and this is 6 by 12. So I think I'm just going to work with this size right now. And what you're going to want to start to do, once you decide on your size, just fold it in half. And it doesn't have to be a tight fold because you're going to open it up later on. And you can take your scissors. Now you can do this two different ways. You can cut straight lines down, but only go to like maybe a ½ inch to an inch, depending on where you want to stop from the open part. You don't want to cut all the way down unless you would be cutting strips. I'll talk about that later. So, I'm going to start on the fold end, and you want to make sure you leave some space on the sides too. So I would go in probably at least a ½ inch. And you can have a ruler if you're not sure. A ruler, and then you can mark it with a pencil. If that helps you, I'm just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to do, not a straight line, but I'm going to do kind of a curly back and forth line. Then I'm going to stop here. That's around a ½ inch. So I'm going to start with my second cut, and I'm going to move it over a little more than a ½ inch. You could do an inch, and you can measure it out if that helps you. Like I said, I'm just going to eyeball it. I've done it where I've done one design cut, and then I've done a zigzag, and I've just done different cuts. Or at your end of your cut, you kind of want to line it up to be about the same stopping point as the others. It might not be perfect, but so there I have my cuts. Now I'm going to open it up, and it should look like this. Now I'm going to talk to you about your paper strips. So depending on the size of your weave part, depends on the length that you're going to work with. These are 9 inches, which is okay because my paper is 6. I want that extended piece of paper on both ends coming out. And you can work with different sizes. This is an inch strip. I have some smaller strips. These are about a ½ inch that you can work with. It's just up to you, whatever you want to decide. You can go with an 1.5 inches if you'd like. So I happen to have the primary colors right here. It wasn't my intent, I just happened to pull these out. So these, like I said, these are like an inch. Now before you go ahead and start, we talk about the weave, what you can do is you can lay, once your strips are done, you can lay out your design. You can make a pattern. You can go alternate colors. Then go back to yellow. Just kind of get an idea. You just kind of want to try that out. So at the bottom, you kind of make sure you have enough room that you're going to end up with the same two. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to alternate all 3 colors. So to get started, I don't know how many of you know how to weave. It kind of can get a little tricky, but it's pretty fun. So you're going to I'm going to start with my blue. I'm going to, my first cut, and I am left-handed, so I'm probably working backwards compared to right-handed people. So I apologize for that, but if you're right-handed, you're probably going to start on this side and work this way. So, anyway, so this strip of my paper, I am going to put my colored strip over this strip, under. I'm going to alternate them over, under, over, under. And then I'm going to pull my strips. They don't have to be perfect, but try and get it kind of even on both ends here. Now, if you like, because as you're working, these might slip a little, you can take a piece of tape and you can just kind of tape it down so it stays in your spot. I probably won't do that. I'm just going to go ahead and just work, and then as I'm working, I'm going to be pushing them up, and I'll show you as I go. So, all right. So I'm going to do my red next. And instead of starting on top of this strip, I'm going to come underneath and I'm going to pull my strip through. So this strip falls on top of this piece where my blue went under. And I'm just going to alternate that all the way across. And if you make a mistake and you end up having the two going the same, all I have to do is pull out that strip and just start over. There is my pink and my red. And then I'm going to start with my yellow, which I'm going to do my yellow just like I did my blue. So it's going to go on top of this strip and under, and then alternate that all the way across. There, I have my first three in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and complete my strips and just alternating every other one. Alright, so here now is your finished project. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim off the ends. And I guess you wouldn't have to. I guess you could just kind of fold them over or trim, fold them back. If you were going to have a back side, I kind of trim them off just so I can leave them, in case you want to look at both sides. So I'm going to trim these off. And I'm just going to cut up to my white line on my paper. So like that. Now you don't have to, but I am going to suggest that maybe you take like a glue stick or Elmer's glue, whatever you have on hand, to help keep this in place. I'm going to lift up that little tab under there, and I'm going to glue it down. And there, you have a paper weave. Now, if you would like, you could always punch some holes, take a piece of yarn or string, and so you can hang it. To make it larger ones, you could also make them and you could use them instead of hanging them and use placemats. Here is a larger one with thinner strips, and I've done the kind of wavy line, and then I've done the zigzag line, if you can see it there. And you could do it if you want to display either direction. This one was done on construction paper, but I watercolored it. So I had 2 sheets of construction paper, and I watercolored both of them in shapes of heart. So I repeated the heart shape onto the construction paper. I let that dry, and I did straight lines. And this you might want a ruler. You can see on the back better how I did that with straight lines. But you can see the shapes of the hearts once I weave together. And so that's another